Yeah. Um, I think like as a business grows, I think Stuart from Revo also probably shared this a little bit, but I think as a business scales up, like operations start gumming up the works very quickly. Like I need to talk to this person to do this, and this person needs to get that, and we need this information from this place. I'm going to wait. And then there's all these checks and balances. It just, as a founder, like you are so used to moving fast, but then you see your business like eventually slow down. And it's a natural thing that happens with every company. And Engine Room is one of the ways that I try to fight it, to make sure that the team is still focused on the things that really matter.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting edition of the Liquid Weekly podcast. I am your host, Karl Meisterheim. With me, as always, the esteemed Taylor Page. Taylor, hello.
Hey Karl, how's it going?
How are you today? Good. Taylor, there's many reasons we have guests on this podcast. Sometimes we are desperate for friends. Sometimes we work in advance and hook people up to come talk about what they're doing. And sometimes we reach out to someone for a very special reason. And today's guest, it's a very special reason because Sandesh, the founder of STOQ app, is here with us today because it is his birthday. Happy birthday, Sandesh, and welcome to the show.
Thanks, guys. Feels great.
Would
It
you
feels
like
perfect.
us to sing?
Perfect.
No, oh
Ooh.
please, no, please don't.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Fine.
We'll edit it in.
And you get to
Sandesh.
celebrate today by coming on a podcast and doing a bunch of meetings. And what are there any birthday plans? Like you going out tonight?
No, nothing today. But I am going for dinner with friends tomorrow, and
Nice.
we're gonna go for a hike on Sunday. And
Oh,
I'm gonna
nice.
think about all the things that I need to on Sunday. So today is just a regular day.
Nice. There you go.
So for you and your stage of life and your personality, is a birthday a momentous occasion to look back and reflect on all the glorious achievements, or is it a reminder of your mortality and existential dread?
Oh, wow. Straight into the deep end. It's funny. I was just looking at some charts related to one of our apps, and I was thinking about how far we've made it. Just about like half an hour before this. So yeah, a bit of like looking back. Haven't thought about mortality yet. I'm sure it'll happen someday, somewhere in the day today. But yeah, before this, I was thinking about just where we were last year and where we are today. And it's a good reminder, I guess. Like a birthday is a good reminder of the progress we've made.
Yeah.
Yes.
And last year you were getting another award at Editions.dev. So that was so we're a close second, right? Being on the podcast. Like it's not quite a Shopify award, but I mean it's a close second. So
Type of award.
Yeah,
it's a type of award.
Definitely. I think Editions was this time last year, right? And
Yeah,
Late
it was in May.
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. That was that award was definitely out of the blue. Very unexpected, but very grateful for it.
And to everybody watching or listening, I did try to get Sandesh to wear the jacket that they got as part of the award, but he is a little too humble and felt like it would be rubbing it in all of y'all's faces. So, But
So Sandesh,
you got a cool jacket, you got a cool little plaque kind of type thing or whatever. So that very cool, very cool.
You said the reward was unexpected. When exactly did you know you were getting it? And I'm only asking because it's in July this year, and I haven't heard anything yet, and so I'm still thinking maybe there's a chance.
Well, I think that was the first time they did it last year. So we actually didn't find out literally until like they told us about it. So how it went was they told us that you've been selected to pick up some exciting Built for Shopify swag. And we would like you to meet us at the other side of the building. So there was an entrance to get into. This was the pre-party to Editions. And they said, hey, you should meet us on the other side. And I got in through the regular entrance. And then they said, oh, no, you're one of the special ones. You need to go to the other side. And so they pushed me over to the other side. And that's where I met.
Entrance.
Yeah. And that's where I met Dennis. And then I met PJ. And they were all just hanging out too. I guess everyone was like largely clueless about where this was going. And then somebody from Shopify, I think it was Irene, came in and then took us up to this room where there were like I want to say it was champagne on one side, and then everybody else, like all the big wigs from Shopify, like Eitan and all of them were hanging out there. Glenn Coates, they were all just kind of waiting around. And then Harley came in and he told us that, hey, you guys are here because you've been selected as one of the best Shopify apps that are built for Shopify. And here's this cool jacket. And everybody got a very cool jacket, and we got to take nice pictures. It looked like we were a class that graduated from Shopify when you look at that picture.
That's awesome. It was cool. It was like these like, would you call those Letterman jackets? I think.
Yeah.
Like that's the style of jacket. They looked really, really nice. They looked really good.
Oh my god, the swag they have is like I'm not for it. I was in like I'm just not cool enough for it. Like, you know, somebody wears that something very cool and you feel like something's wrong here. Like it doesn't level up. The person doesn't level up to it. That's me and that jacket.
Oh, stop. That's
it is a very cool jacket.
Yeah. And they had a whole space at Editions.dev, now.dev, where I think they call it like the Diamond Lounge or something, or Built for Shopify Lounge or something like that or whatever. But you could see all of the apps. They hadn't maybe given you the plaques yet or whatever. It was just kind of like on display for people to see all of the apps in there. So that was really cool. So I'm sure y'all were super proud about that, especially you were the first group of apps to get that. So that was really, really special, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, it's one of those things where you don't realize, like, I guess you question yourself a lot when you put the work into like obsessing over detail and obsessing over quality, and you kind of like second guess yourself every step of the way, which is like, who really cares? It's a button on a page. Like, why should you, like, I have those moments a lot, and I had it a lot over the last 4 years. Because you might as well put that effort into like thinking about revenue or optimizing some other metric or just trying to help a customer do their thing. But then you have these small moments where you realize that people are actually paying attention. Somebody is actually looking at this and being like, okay, this is actually really good work and they deserve some attention for it. So it was, it's very hard to explain to the people you're working with why you should obsess. And then this moment happens and then they finally get it. And then they work even harder to the next thing. So in that sense, it was truly, truly awesome. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Now, Sandesh, you said before that you don't consider yourself super technical. So forgive me for asking this question, but what framework did you use to write your app in?
Oh, all of our apps are Ruby on Rails, and they're all with React front end. So we use Polaris React. I know deprecated and all that, but we still
you're being serious?
Yeah.
Oh, good. It's Rails back in. That's great, Taylor. Why didn't you say that? I would have had him on decades ago.
Listen, I know it's Sandesh's birthday, but I like for things to be a surprise for you every now and again too. So
I like him so much more now. I mean, I like them already now. I like him more.
Yeah. Me and my co-founder, like we've been building Rails apps for like the last 10 years now. We started with Rails and we've stuck with it since, and we just know it really well at this point. So it's very hard to convince us to use another framework.
No, I feel the same way. Plus, it's innate beauty, it's technical prowess. It's
I was gonna say this is getting maybe a little bit. We're backtracking, so it's cool to see like where you've been, and this maybe is leading to the next segment. But we like to hear about origin stories, and you've worked at the mothership, right? Like, so like, did you pick up Rails there, or were you a Rails dev in previous lives too? Like, where did that first kind of come into play there?
I started building apps like right out of college. This was in 2015. And that's when I got to know about Rails and React. And I understand it enough that I can read it and figure out what to do next. But if you ask me like very technical questions, I'm just not going to be able to figure it out. But yeah, that's where I started. And I actually got into Shopify because we built a Shopify app in 2019. It was called Invoice Falcon. We built an app to help merchants with invoicing. A friend recommended the App Store to us, and that's how we got into it. And then I saw that Shopify was looking for somebody in their partner for their ecosystem team. And that's how I applied and got in. Worked there for a couple of years. Didn't get to write any code during that time, and I felt the itch too much because my primary job, I guess, or my skill set is in product management. That's kind of what I do for a living for the most part, and it felt like writing documents and helping teams push things forward didn't align with how I wanted to work. Probably no better place to do it though than Shopify. So like if you're there and doing product management, like you're learning from the best. So that part is great. But I wanted to write code, plain and simple. So that's how I eventually ended up leaving and then joining my co-founder again to build more apps. And yeah, here we are. So yeah, Rails for like God, 11 years now.
That's good. Well, when you got it, you got it. Why would you leave it? So you mentioned that app was 2019. So were you at Unite 2019?
No, I wasn't. That was like just two people in their bedrooms, like building apps at the time. We had no idea about the scale of Shopify or the merchants or anything. We were just trying to get to 4K MRR. That was our goal. We just wanted to get there. And so, yeah, we built it. We did. But I also I felt like I didn't have enough experience to build products that in the way that I wanted to. And so when I saw the job at Shopify, I applied and I got through. I left what I was doing with my co-founder to just work at Shopify for a bit.
See, that's good too, at least hearing you talk about like that was your initial goal even was 4K MRR. Like I think it's so interesting when I talk to people and like right out the gate, they're frustrated that they're not at like 10K MRR, like or whatever. Like that's the goal of like,
yeah.
The next 6 months, I'm hitting 10K. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, like
it does not work out
such a leap, man. Like, so even then, like that's you're very realistic about like how you approach stuff like that. So you went from invoicing then to working at Shopify, and then you got back out of it. So was STOQ with like pre-orders and everything? Was like that the next move, or did you guys build some other apps that didn't quite take off the way that you hoped it would, and you eventually found STOQ or whatever?
So we originally started with back in stock alerts, and the app was called Restock Rocket back then. Horrible name, I know, but like that's kind of, we had this thing where...
I think it's a great name. I don't know why I don't know. My favorite emoji is, everybody knows, like the rocket icon.
Yeah,
like,
it is
like,
cool.
I rocket literally everything. So like, I think it's great. But anyways, I'm sorry.
Yeah. We started with back in stock alerts, and we got into pre-orders because just like happens with anybody in this space, you kind of see that they're similar in similar areas, and they kind of solve a very similar purpose, which is that people want to be able to know when your product is launching or when it's available, and they want to be the first in line to buy it. And pre-orders are a way for you to secure that payment upfront. Back in stock alerts are a way for you to get that customer's email to then tell them that, hey, this product is actually available, and then you can buy it. So it was very natural for us in terms of progression to go from back in stock alerts into pre-orders. But yeah, we've been doing pre-orders for 2 years now. That's kind of our bread and butter. We do everything we can to build an app that scales with the merchant. Yeah, and I really think that STOQ will do more. We have some fun stuff coming like next year, but this year is a little bit of a focus more on pre-orders. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think pre-orders is such a murky area because, at least especially early on, where I was working with folks and they wanted to do pre-orders. And so some people are like, it's just as simple as slapping up there like changing out add to cart button with this is a pre-order instead, and then just checking out or whatever. And it's going to be fine if we just let them know, okay, this is a pre-order. But then they wonder like all these chargebacks that they're losing all of a sudden because they took somebody's money on a pre-order and then like they can't ship for X amount of time. So there's a whole bunch of random nuances to that, to where now, like when I tell people like I'm looking at STOQ to do that, like an app needs to like help us facilitate this because of all these other nuances and stuff to that. So that's cool that y'all stumbled into that. And so I know you said you're not very technical, but you're the person that I credit for teaching me, stuff in Liquid and everything else that I had no idea. So that's one of the things we were talking about before the call was like selling plans. Like I thought selling plans were just specific to subscriptions because that's all I ever understood it. But that's what STOQ is using too to help out with this, is like selling plans is also for pre-order. So I don't know if you want to talk about that, like maybe from like that purchase perspective of like why you're using selling plans or something like that or whatever. Because like I said, I had no idea until I worked with merchants who asked for this thing and they told me how to build it, which is the worst part when you listen to somebody else and you're supposed to be the expert. But I just did what they told me to, and then they got mad that they were getting chargebacks. So
Yeah.
how does selling plans help with that, or what are selling plans for?
Yeah, I mean, to go back to the thing you said, like you can definitely change the button text to pre-order and just slap it on and be done with it. And if you look at like Reddit in general, you see like 99% of people recommend that as the way to go to get started with pre-orders, which is not wrong, I would say. But there are a lot of nuances with pre-orders, and that's where you start thinking about selling plans and purchase options and having a pre-order app in the first place. Um, and I think for most merchants, like you can definitely even now like Claude code your way and like build a pre-order flow. You can even tell Flow to build all the different emails that you need to tell customers about pre-orders. But apps like solve a lot of that. And that's the beauty of having an app. Like you pay $10 a month, you get everything out of the gate and you just don't have to worry about it anymore. Now, like if you're just collecting payments up front and you're simply telling you're going to ship the product, you know when it's going to ship out, I think 9 times out of 10, you actually don't need an app for it. Much like you don't need an app for a lot of things on your Shopify store. Like if you're simply, you have a product, you know how many you're going to sell, you just don't need an app for it. Your Horizon theme or whatever will do like 99% of the heavy lifting, right?
Right.
But it's only when you start thinking about wanting to do more that you will start thinking about apps. With pre-orders specifically, a lot of times, like you don't know exactly how much inventory you're going to get in. You're kind of just putting a feeler out to figure out how many customers are actually interested in buying your product. And in those cases, you may not want to collect money from customers as much as you want to understand demand. You will eventually collect all of that, tell your supplier that, hey, this is how many products that I want to get in. Then you get those in and you ship those out. And that's when you will ideally want to charge customers. And so anything to do with that workflow where you're telling customers that I'm going to collect your payment details, but I won't charge you right now. I'll only charge you when I ship the product. You need an app that uses selling plans. And selling plans are the thing that enable apps, even Shopify, to basically vault the card details so you can charge the customer later. And so, yeah, it's a funny thing that like not a lot of people know about. This is what selling plans can do as well. Like there's subscriptions, which is the big part of it. But there's also pre-orders, and then there's also try before you buy. So a lot of like all try before you buy apps also rely on the same deferred payment workflow. And so they also use selling plans. And yeah, selling plans is how we enable pre-orders to happen.
That's awesome. And
there's even
and is there? I say I've heard people talk too about like there's like typically like if you're collecting payment details or whatever too, like there's like a 30-day timeline window typically for like you're just going to lose the chargeback every single time if you can't ship in that window kind of type thing. So I mean that I don't know if that's accurate, if you've heard that or you have guidance on that. It sounds like for the most part, you know, the pre-orders is the thing that you want to use if you're in that stage where you're collecting the payment info, but you're waiting, you know, for it to ship and stuff primarily.
Yeah,
that's
definitely
the biggest piece. Mm-hmm.
Anything to do with deferred payments, like you're collecting a deposit. Like for example, there's a lot of things like high value items like furniture and things like that. Like customers are going to pay like $2,000 up front, but they will put down a deposit so that they can get the product eventually. So in that case too, you will just need to have to use an app that uses selling plans and that gives you the entire workflow. So you'd collect the 10% upfront, Shopify vaults the card, and then you can charge them later when you ship. And also, vaulting the card just ensures that you can actually charge the customer at a later point. Because it's stored, you can just, when you're ready to ship, you can either click it from Shopify or from the app to just say, I'm going to collect all the remaining payment right now.
Yeah. And taking some kind of a down payment is probably like 9 times out of 10 just way better, because I know like the common or like the easy thing is, right, like just like put a feeler out there with a sign up list and let people sign up. But if there's never any real money on the table, it's like, oh yeah, like I'll say that I'm going to buy this. And then when it comes, you know, push comes to shove and you've actually got to buy it, you know, you're only at like 30% of people versus, you know, I imagine like it's a very high rate of people that put down some kind of a down payment. that actually follow through with the purchase.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's somebody showing intent to purchase. Like anytime you have somebody who's showing an actual intent to purchase, be it paying fully upfront or a deposit or anything, is much better than somebody on an email list. Like there's no denying that. The highest converting emails and SMSs are always back in stock alerts. Like if you look at any sort of information online about what types of emails convert the best in terms of receiving an email to actually placing an order, back in stock alerts are at the top of the list. But even that has a drop off funnel compared to like having pre-orders where somebody's actually put down their money and has just upfront paid you for it. And so then you can decide that how much inventory you actually need to get versus guessing based on a wait list.
Yeah. So a lot of this just super helpful as far as like inventory and everything else and forecasting. Like, you don't have to guess when you've got people actually telling you they want this thing.
Yeah. And that's like a huge part of what we do. We try to give people all that information in a report like, hey, these are customers in your wait list. This is how long they've been waiting. This is what we think you should restock first. This is the demand we've seen in pre-orders. Now use all this information to decide what you're going to tell your supplier to send you next. Don't have to guess. You have this information and you can simply decide based on that. And I think that's such an underrated part of like inventory. Like there's inventory forecasting, which like tries to get all this information and give you something. But when you have like real data around wait lists and pre-orders, you can make a much, much better decision. And that's a big direction we're going in this year. So we're launching this new thing called conversion analytics, where we'll be able to tell you how many people clicked on a pre-order button, how many people ended up adding to cart, how many people ended up finishing checkout. And the same thing for back in stock alerts too, how many people clicked on notify me, saw the email or saw the SMS and eventually converted. So along with seeing who is asking for the product the most, we'll also be able to tell you which product is actually converting better between all the different products. And I also spoke to this, there's this merchant nearby who lives like 5 minutes from me. They sell trading cards and they sell like board games. And they were talking about how they want to benchmark launches, pre-order launches. And they rely a lot on analytics data like this. So they will, what they'll do is they will get an order first set in and they will benchmark it to see how many customers are actually placing pre-orders. And they will use that information to then decide how much they should order next time or what they can expect for another set that's going to come out in the future. So analytics is like a very key part of the pre-order experience that we're just learning now. And we're going to add it to the app as like, hey, this is all the information we can give you about conversion for your launches, for your campaigns, and decide what you should restock based on that.
That's awesome. Really great idea. Especially like, I don't know, AI and everything else or whatever. That's the biggest issue, I think. And I don't know if you guys run into this too with like, you do whatever you can to give people data. So like, we need data. And then they never look at it. And so now I think if it's like something where maybe this is a space where AI helps too, at least on the merchant side of things of like, you've got the data now. So like they can at least, there's more time for them to hopefully to grab that or whatever, even a screenshot and dump it to an LLM and be like, tell me what's going on here or whatever kind of type thing. So and y'all use AI like pretty heavily as well, which is awesome. A lot of like for like internal flows and stuff like that. I don't know if you want to like maybe this is a good point to segue into that a little bit. So I don't know if you're sick of talking about AI a little bit. I feel like everybody. I've seen you all over the place lately talking about, because you have these like really cool and advanced workflows, and we've even asked you in SDA a couple of times to talk about it. So like that's maybe because everyone's like really impressed with it. But I don't know if Karl has some other things that he wants to jump into for like selling plans and some of this other stuff from the technical side. I think it'd be interesting too to hear, if we can come back to it, maybe how you progressed into pre-orders if you just started off with the notify when back in stock. I know you said it like felt natural, but a lot of people building, I think, are looking for the next thing. So it'd be kind of interesting to hear how you came to that decision too.
So in general, we listen to a lot of merchant feedback to figure out where we want to go next. And with back in stock alerts, I think that it's very similar to pre-orders is the grand conclusion of things I've learned after like doing this for 4 years. At the end of the day, you just want to get customer intent nailed down. You want to know what people are actually looking to buy next. And people use back in stock alerts mainly for that. The product goes out of stock, you want to collect that information and have them on a wait list so you can eventually get them converted into an order. And pre-orders for most merchants, at least at the time when we first started out, was like, I'm doing this already by collecting waitlists. Why can't I just offer a pre-order and get their payment upfront so I can then use that to fund my next inventory purchase? And that's kind of where we started out originally. We started building out the pre-order workflow just for that, for those set of merchants who are asking for it. Eventually, we realized it's way more than this. A lot of brands who are starting out right now are basically using pre-orders to launch their products. We have so many apparel brands, for example, that start out for the first time with pre-orders. They have an idea for a hoodie, a sweatshirt, a jacket based on their TikTok or their Instagram. Like, they have a following. The following wants to buy merch. The followers want to buy merch. And pre-orders are the way to get started with selling that merch because they don't have 100K or whatever lying around to buy that inventory. And so that's where pre-orders are now like extremely, like where we're seeing a huge chunk of our merchants, at least. They're all just starting out. They have following, they have ideas, and they need to fund the inventory purchase, and pre-orders are the way for them to do it. And that's kind of how it's been, at least for now.
Really cool.
And then, I don't know if you guys heard that. My dogs just went crazy.
That's okay.
Yeah. And then on the other side, we're also seeing lots of large brands get into it too, because they're all expanding their SKUs. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen it too, but what we're seeing is a lot of brands are just expanding their SKUs very quickly. And Shopify is bringing all these huge brands in too. So everyone has lots of different ideas around how they want to use pre-orders to launch a new line, or to run pre-orders for their most loyal customers, or something to that extent, or to do it in one market but not do it in another. And that's the other side of it where we're seeing a lot of interest from merchants too.
That's awesome. And maybe we can talk about this a little bit, because I'm sure Karl might have some thoughts or ideas as well. Because obviously, if you're doing like pre-orders and you're doing notify when back in stock, you're having to touch storefronts, and so to some degree, you're having to support themes. And so this is a little bit more of the dark side of Shopify development. Not so much so the dark side, is just like this is one of the frustrating sides. I know.
Yeah.
Where you're obviously, if you're putting some kind of element on the page, like buttons and things of this nature or whatever, you're having to interact with the cart, and those sorts of things, right? I don't know if you have thoughts or ideas on things that y'all have done or found to be successful there, because obviously supporting a bunch of different themes can be hard. So, any thoughts or anything that you want to throw out there for people that do have to, like, their app has to interact with storefronts? Maybe some things that y'all have found to be successful, or things that you should definitely avoid. Any big call outs for that?
Oh my God, it's a scary world ahead with AI and all of this. There's not a day where I don't wake up and think, oh my God, we'll have to do so much more work to support storefronts and themes with all the ways AI is going to change things. I thought it would happen last year, but it seems like we're slowly getting there. As much as it isn't an overnight change yet, but it is slowly happening. We used to struggle a lot with supporting themes out of the box. Our team would spend a lot of time, as I'm sure every dev knows, like, you just need to support your app embed and theme extensions to support different selectors so you can target different elements on a theme. For us, it's very important because a notify me button cannot be a theme extension. It cannot be a theme app block, because for most merchants, they want to place it right underneath the add to cart button or the sold out button. And there's no way to do that. At most, you can place it at a block below that, but it's not directly underneath it. So really, we just have to find a way to insert a button exactly where that other one appears. And the same case with pre-orders too. You want to change the add to cart to pre-order, and there's no way to do it with a theme app block extension thing. The only way to do it is to use selectors to modify it. And so it was a lot of pain for us for like the last 3 years to do that for every merchant because it's a big part of the onboarding. But my merchant success lead, she came up with this idea to just go through all 150 themes or whatever it is on the theme store that are the most popular based on the data we have, and to test every single theme and to store default selectors for all of them for everything that we need. And so now we apply it by default in most cases. In cases where it doesn't work, the team is available like 24/7 round the clock to make it happen. That's also actually a good advice thing I would give for anybody who's like building a business around this. You need a 24/7 support team, especially if your work is on the storefront. There is like no way around it. And it's also great for activation, onboarding, retention, every single thing, metric that you can imagine, a 24/7 support team will get you there.
And clarifying real fast, because when you say 24/7 support team, everyone's like, I've got a chat bot, or whatever kind of type. Yeah. And that's not what you're talking about. Like you're heavily using AI, but like you have actual people that are available 24/7.
Yep. Literal 24/7 humans available. So we have 15 people in our team who are working around in shifts and they're available 24/7. Any merchant who has a problem, doesn't matter which part of the world they're in, they will get a reply from a human under 2 minutes in most cases. So that's how we set it up. And it was a very critical part because we rely so much on the storefront to get the merchant started. So it just felt like table stakes for us to keep the business going. And so we invested a lot in that. And then on the theme side, we spent a lot of time going through every theme, storing their selectors and making sure that when the merchant installs the app, we know which theme they're on. We apply those by default so they have a great experience out of the box. And that helped a lot in bringing down how we can support themes. There's even more we can do with AI right now. Like AI has browser use and all those fun things it can do. So I think we can go to the next level with this. But just by going through all those themes and storing everything, I think we made a good chunk of progress. And if you're a solo dev, I would say like that's a good 1 week to invest in, to just go through that effort of going through all the 100 themes, storing all the selectors and just having it ready, because that will save you a ton of time.
That's really good call out, Sandesh.
Well, and also to backtrack just slightly or whatever for this, because I think there's going to be two different types of people that hear like team of 15 people, 24/7 support. Like this was something that you've built up over years.
Oh, yes.
Right? This is not something where it's just like everybody should have this. This is the bar or whatever. Like this is what you work towards, right? So I think there's two people that hear that, they get discouraged, or there's other people that are like, oh, this is great, I need to like work towards this. So for the people that get discouraged when they're like, I don't have a team of 15 people and 24/7 support, like, that's fine right now, right? Like it was just you and a co-founder, and then you guys built this all up over time. So and you obviously were putting in way longer hours initially to get to that point, where now it's probably some version of manageable.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I hope nobody takes it that you have to have $100K to like invest in a 24/7 support team, and it's not like that at all. I did support myself for every merchant for the first 2.5 years of running the business. Me and my co-founder is more on the technical side, so he's the actual engineer. And so I kind of saved him from like talking to merchants so he could focus on building the product. And so, yes, I did all of that work myself until we got enough money to train a team who could then train other people in the team and run that whole process to get to 15. So it's just having a team of 15 was just something that happened last year, but up until end of like 23, for example, so 2 years into the business, it was just me and my co-founder supporting everyone. And we learned a lot through that process. It's just that you have to decide when you have to invest. I think that's one of the things that I see a lot with app devs. You see a trend, you see a sign, or you see a goal that you want to hit, you invest early on rather than trying to wait for it to happen. So for us, for example, like 24/7 support was a goal we just needed to have. And we didn't start with 24/7. We started with having a support team so we can focus more on the product. And that eventually morphed into 24/7. But in both of those decisions, it was very clear that it needed to happen, and we didn't second guess it. We just said, let's do it now, take the pain, and then we'll see how to scale it up later or optimize it or whatever it might be. And that has applied to us in everything we've done. Same thing with Built for Shopify. I think a lot of devs hesitated with Built for Shopify in the early days when the program first launched like 3 years ago. But you see something, you try and understand what it means for the ecosystem and what it means for you, and you invest in it with your gut call. And so our gut call at the time was we're going to be a Built for Shopify app. When the program first launched, when it was like 5 different rounds of them giving you feedback and you had to use Polaris and all of that. Like we were one of the first apps in the batch to roll out with Built for Shopify. But we made that call because it was the right thing to do, because we could read the tea leaves, like this is going to be how it is. And when they tell you something as obvious as search ranking algo boost, you just understand what that means for those 4 words that it is, and you just go with it. So that's what we did then. That's what we did with support too. It's just, you just take that gut call and you roll with it, and then you decide what you need to do later.
And even with the support team, just to call out too, like you didn't just outsource support 24/7. You actually trained and raised up a team. So that's a whole nother level of quality there I think you provided.
Yeah, definitely. When I hired my first person, I wrote a 40-page book about how to do support the way we do it. Everything from using our chat tool at the time to tips on how to write to merchants, like be friendly, be positive, write in enough detail, ask a clarifying question. Like everything that I could think of about the way that I worked, I wrote it down. And I spent a lot of time training the first 3 people, and they understood how we worked, and then they trained the rest of them. And I still review chats. Like even today, we get about 2,000 conversations a week. I try to read at least 50 to 100 to 150 of them just to see whether the quality is still up to the level that we had before.
Wow, 2,000.
And where's the book on sale now? Where can we get the book?
I don't think I'll be able to recognize the book anymore. It's changed so much since people have come in, all for the good though. Like they've made it even better than I could. But yeah, it just goes back to like, you just have to invest in it. When you see the sign, you just invest.
Well, and a lot of your internal tooling that you have built up and invested in very heavily has been to support your customer support. I don't know, like it'd be cool for you to talk about that too. I know Karl's got some questions too or whatever, but
I was going to say, let's get into the AI stuff and the tooling and the automation piece. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we do the standard stuff, as in we tell Claude to do everything for us as baseline, but we do have, I would say, a couple of things that we do different. One of them is Devin doesn't get a lot of love, but Devin, the AI engineer, is amazing. And we originally started with it just having reviewing, giving us PRs and like working in Slack with us to fix any issues. But we recently gave it access to all of our apps through MCPs. We also gave it access to all of the main tools we use, like Bugsnag, PostHog, everything we can think of. And now it's pretty much able to diagnose any problem and figure out an issue immediately. So much so that like if we are working on something, we're mostly working in Slack. Like we're not actually moving to anything else. We're just kind of in Slack talking to Devin about what we need to do. Even some custom or like fairly simple things, like a merchant comes in and says, hey, I want a CSV in exactly this order or with these columns because I want to export my data to go somewhere else. At Devin, please do this. This is the Shopify domain. Prepare this data and give me the CSV. And we'll just run and it will happen in Slack. So we're just still working and helping merchants while this thing is running. And then we just come back and we're done with it. So I think Devin is extremely underrated. That's like one thing that we've over-invested in, and it was the best decision, I would say. The second thing is as our business has scaled, we have a lot of operations, and there's a lot of different workflows that we do. For example, as every app dev does, we ask merchants for reviews and we want to know how many have converted versus not. We take calls with merchants and there are some action items we need to follow up with them on it and make sure that it gets done. We have escalations to engineering. We need to get those resolved and make sure that the merchant gets updated. All of these workflows live in Slack and it gets very difficult to manage it. So we felt like it was time for us to automate a lot of it. And so I think late last year, I started building this tool that I call the engine room, which is basically, as you can imagine, on a ship, it is the thing that keeps the business afloat. So it has
maybe
access.
On a rocket ship.
I don't know. Engine room and ship makes more sense to me, but
just ignore him. We always do.
But yeah, I shared a bit about this on X, but the idea is that there is this one central dashboard where we can just review everything about the business. So what escalations are going up to engineering? What are we seeing in terms of retention metrics from all of our different apps? Are there any frustrated merchants who are like saying something angry that we need to address like right now? It has the ability to get all of that information and show us that, and also ping us on Slack about it. I don't know if I can share here my screen and show you guys a little bit, but if you want, I can do that.
If you want to do a little show and tell, yeah, like that's you should be able to share your screen here.
Yeah, okay, let me try and do that.
Getting the inside peek here.
Like, okay.
It is very impressive. Sandesh has showed this a couple of times before that I've seen, and is yes. I'm like usually feel pretty good about my AI workflows and everything until then I see something like this. I'm like, well,
that's the thing too. I'm glad he's able to show us some stuff because I think AI gets a lot of lip service, but I still struggle with some of the nuts and bolts. Like, how is this actually going to be useful? Because it falls down in so many ways.
Yeah, so this is pretty much it. So it's called Engine Room. You can see here immediately, like the team is chatting about some different issues. And then we also have this workflow where we're seeing real-time conversations and what is the sentiment of them. So if there's something that we need to address immediately, we will just get to it. We have all of our different processes. We track all of our reviews. Any calls with any merchants, we get this from Firefly. And then if the team needs to add any tasks, they can add it right here and we have it tracked that way. For engineering, like what tickets are being escalated that we need to address, how many of them have we received in the last little bit, we can track all of that here. We get all of our web vital metrics through the Shopify app debugger, so we can then see how our P75s are going, if there's anything we need to do to address it. All of this is just being consumed, and then we get reports of it in Slack, so we don't have to go anywhere. On the product side, we get like retention metrics for all of our apps. We get on the marketing side, like how many app listing views we got, how does it look between branded versus non-branded queries on Google. What is the team working on in linear? Everything is over here. So when I first start my day, I just come here and review every metric and anything that needs my attention. And we started this with a very simple workflow of just seeing like what our merchants talking about. And today it's this like giant thing that can do a lot of stuff that we can ping in Slack to also get reports.
Did you write this in Rails?
No, this is slop coded in, I think, JavaScript. But
as long as it works.
Yeah, as long as it works. And my goal was to try and get the team to like do more without having to like worry about the process and the ops of it all. Because I think like the main thing that matters at the end of the day is, are merchants successful? Are they happy? Are they going to getting what they need done? And everything else should just be automated away, because that's the key thing that matters. And so that's what I've been trying to do with this.
Yeah, I really like or appreciate the approach of, I think most of us, or a lot of people when we're talking about like building with AI, everyone's talking about like just like building apps or products and all these different things or whatever. But I think it's been cool to see how a lot of your focus has been like internal tools, like, or just giving support the tools that they need and providing people who aren't developers, right? Their customer support and stuff like that. But giving them tools to be technical and be able to either, help fix some things or whatever, if it's config or whatever, but also like take good enough reports back to someone who can actually fix stuff. So that's been cool to see that. It's very much so like more realistic, non-hype train AI, how we should be looking to use it.
Yeah. I think like as a business grows, I think Stuart from Riva also probably shared this a little bit, but I think as a business scales up, like operations start gumming up the works very quickly. Like, I need to talk to this person to do this, and this person needs to get that, and we need this information from this place. I'm going to wait. And then there's all these checks and balances. It just, as a founder, like, you are so used to moving fast, but then you see your business like eventually slow down. And it's a natural thing that happens with every company. And Engine Room is one of the ways that I try to fight it, to make sure that the team is still focused on the things that really matter. Like, our mission is, we give merchants like practical, affordable, and very easy to use apps. That's all we do. And nothing else should get in the way of that to the extent possible. And that's what Engine Room is trying to do right now.
That's cool. It's nice too, because this is obviously kind of a cliche thing, but in business, it's always good to be able to think about the business and not just be in the business. And it sounds like the way you've structured your deal with your partner, that you have some of that space where the engineering things are being handled. You can kind of take another breath and from the perspective, and that's good.
Yeah. I still think engineering is the harder part of it, because if meta fields don't work, for example, like, we have no business at the end of the day. So he is doing the harder work, but my job is to make sure that, like, we can actually continue doing that at the rate that we want to. Because I just think it's so easy to get lost in the details, and it's very natural. It just happens.
I'm curious if you have, so we've talked a lot about like all these other pieces or what have you, but just because people have said in our survey, like, they're interested in the business side of things. I hear people ask a lot about, like, how do you find a co-founder, or how do you find somebody to partner with building things, people like Karl are obviously just batting away people with sticks, saying like, I just have so many people that want to work with me, but that's not the case for everybody. So, like, I don't know if you have advice on, like, how do you find a co-founder? How do you find a partner like that? Because I think it's a little bit harder, really, when you actually start to get into it.
Yeah, I feel like you asked the wrong person this question, because I got very lucky with it. My co-founder and I have been working together for 11 years now, and we first met when we decided to co-found another company. It was our first one in 2015, and we kind of just stuck together since. Just because it's very natural in terms of how we work. He actually knows how to write code, and I can write some code that kind of makes sense, but I can also do a lot of other stuff. And sort of steer where we go, which is what he needs as well as he works. So we've just been natural for us. I wish it was as easy to find co-founders as I did. That's kind of what I always hope for when I see people with ideas. It is a blessing. It is a big, big, big blessing, and a big part of why where we are where we are. Like, when you have two people who don't argue about anything, but just decide to work together and put aside everything else because they know they're going to work together for a very, very, very long time, it just makes everything else so easy.
Yeah. Working with other people, it's always hard to, like, figure out, like, for one, what are you responsible for? What am I responsible for? Yeah. And then two, you got to have people that are willing to, like, stay in their lane, so to speak, right? Like, I don't know, maybe if you have any thoughts or ideas on that too, because I know you say like, oh, I'm not very technical or whatever. It's like, you are, like, pretty technical. It might just be that your partner co-founder, right, is very, very technical. So I don't know if that's also lent itself a little bit to it, of like, you just kind of defer, like, I actually do know what I'm talking about in this space, but this is your realm, so I'm going to always let you call the shots.
So we do have some of that, like, implicit, but in general, I try to encourage everyone, like, including my co-founder, to just share thoughts on anything. Like, I have thoughts on how we architect things as much as he has thoughts on what is a good user experience for a customer or where the business should go next. Last year, we repurchased. So we built this app when we first started out called Invoice Falcon. I left, and my co-founder eventually sold it. And then we bought it back last year because we thought we could do way more with it. And that was a business decision that he drove more than I drove, even though, like, I'm largely responsible for where the business heads, in what direction, and what we build. So it's kind of like that. Like, I just encourage everyone to just give their feedback and input on whatever it might be. Our merchant success lead is now working with marketing to refine our messaging and what we actually tell merchants. And she's also doing a lot of product work now, like reading through conversations, figuring out what features we need to build, testing them out, and all those other things. So really, it's like, as long as you're achieving the goal of like helping us move forward, it's fine. Do whatever you think is best.
In terms of finding a co-founder thing, Taylor, I might just add to the conversation. I think I mentioned it before. I really like this metaphor. It was a TED Talk I watched a while ago where the person discussed the concept of what they called a luck sale. And essentially what it is that, Sandesh was lucky to find a partner. You and I were lucky, Taylor, to find each other and create this beautiful thing that we have going here, right? But there's more to it than that, right? And part of it is finding ways to put yourself out there, to find communities you can be involved with, and to begin constructing essentially a surface area of activity that will hopefully attract luck, in the sense that, people are bound to bump into you more, as opposed to if you're sitting in your room just coding all day. I know that's a hard thing for some folks to do, especially when so much is online. But, we met through the newsletter that I started. And then obviously I met Sandesh now through that, through you, through SDA. So there's just, the more you can put into those sort of activities and just trust the process, you're more than likely to see something good come out from it down the road, even though you can't control exactly what it'll be.
Yeah, that's definitely a good thought. So a little bit of luck, but like maybe building that luck sell out a little bit too. So it's a good way to put it. I know a lot of people get just frustrated with, how much how many good not great opportunities come your way, right, or whatever. I'm sure everyone else gets that in their inbox, like regularly, of like people reaching out and being like, I have this app, like, or have this idea. If you go to like an in-person event and they find out you're a developer and they're like, I have this idea, I want you to build it or whatever. So you always have to be like careful about that too, right? Because, there's lots of people that have great ideas, but then having the drive to actually see it through is kind of a different thing. So.
Yeah. I feel like the drive is really the thing that separates people who succeed versus not. Like, you can have, I don't think we're any special in terms of like what we do and the way we build, but I think we have this really deep care for merchants and how they work and how we can improve their lives. And I think that's, and a drive to grow the business at all costs. Like, we just want to grow it. And so those things like work out in our favor, and that's how we end up succeeding in the long term. We just never lost that focus and that sight. And I really think it just comes down to that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Nice.
Well, Taylor, I hate to direct this conversation to a closing point, but I'm presuming that you have some changelog items you'd like to discuss?
Yeah, I mean, I do. I don't know if, and say, Sandesh, is there anything else that you want to make sure that we hit before we move on? I know, you guys have some meetings kind of following up after this, so I don't want to get too long. Obviously, I want to be respectful of your time and stuff. But is there anything else that you wanted to cover here real quick? I know we talked about a lot of different things.
Sure you don't want us to sing to you?
No, I'm good. No, nothing as much as just I see a lot of like devs who are trying to build apps and trying to succeed. And I really, if there's one thing that I would like just tell everybody, is that like, work on your business just like you would on your product. You are really good at building systems for your apps and your products and how they should operate. And you think about them as services and different interactions. I think your business is kind of the same thing. There's an app, which is your product, and then there are all these other functions that need to work together, and they are all different systems. And if you just treat the business like you would treat your product in terms of metrics, or in terms of quality, or in terms of how they should work with each other, you will just unlock this level of thinking that will help you move to the next step.
It's really good insight. That's when I hear people ask about like freelancing or anything else. It's like the same thing. Everybody kind of comes into everything with this idea of like, I'm going to code for like 8 to 10 hours a day, and that's what I'm going to do all week. And then people will show up with money. And this is how like I will hit my 10K MRR or whatever it is, And it's just like, it doesn't work. You have to treat it like a business. That's such great advice. Like, you have to actually work on building your business just the same as you do the product or the service or whatever it is. So really good advice.
Taylor,
now I get to talk about the changelog.
Great time to go get a cup of coffee if you need one. Taylor, you want to recite
So
Changelog stuff?
Carl, I'm having a little bit of trouble. So I mean, you guys are gonna have to stop me. There's just a lot of like really good stuff in the changelog, and I'm a little leery to talk through all of it. So I will try to just hit high level stuff here or whatever. So yeah, if y'all need to get coffee, make it happen. So, um, so first thing, so dev changelog, more admin intents now support settings. I thought this was neat because this is a handy little thing, like in there. Great quality of life, for merchants, but also a really helpful tool, for devs, like being able to like actually have a space where you can provide some actual contextual like click surfaces for merchants when they're trying to set stuff up. So be sure to check that out. It's very handy that they're setting stuff up for that. An action required item, there's ship and pickup in one order is now available in feature preview. So plus merchants and enterprise merchants, which I don't think I've seen enterprise merchants called out that specifically in a changelog in a while, will soon be able to enable a single checkout experience where customers can choose both shipping and store pickup within the same order. That's pretty cool. So be sure to check that out. It is a feature preview. So if you want to be a part of that, you're going to have to check that piece out. Another action required piece here, app deployment in your CI/CD is now available for all apps. So if you've got this set up, there's some stuff online here for this or whatever, but this has to deal with your automation like pipeline, right? Like as far as like, quality checks and all this stuff or what have you, right? So there's now available for all apps. You can do some app automation tokens through the app dev dashboard. It's like app scoped and all this other stuff. So be sure to check that out. But you do have to opt into this here. So be sure to take a look at that. Big thing that dropped, and I missed like talking about this or whatever, because I was traveling when this happened, and I got very excited when I came back from a trip and saw that you can now publish and unpublish product variants independently from products within sales channels, which is crazy huge. We've been asking for this for so long. I have not yet seen this land in shops, so it might be around, but I have not seen it. This is a non-breaking additive change, but basically if you want to exclude a variant within a product to a specific sales channel, you're now able to do that. So, well, I say now, it's in the changelog, but I haven't seen it drop in the admin yet, so it might not actually be available. Some people have been able to get to it through the bulk edit view, and so be sure to check that out. I'm very excited about it. This is going to be huge for merchants, just because sometimes they offer specific variants of a parent product or whatever that just can't like be sold somewhere else or whatever. So be sure to check that out. Another action required, bots and agents should identify themselves via web bot auth. So this is a thing. Shopify is kind of like locking this down, obviously, for bots and agents that access Storefront API and Shopify hosted online store pages. So if they don't actually identify themselves via web bot auth, they will be limited more strictly. So be sure to check that out if that's a thing. Another cool thing that dropped, you can target discounts to specific markets. So this is really handy if you're using discounts, perhaps for buy with or gift with purchase promotions and such. You can actually target specific markets now if you only want that to be available or exclusive to specific places, whereas before that really hasn't been a thing. So that seems super helpful. Another really big one that dropped here, Shopify app pricing. So everybody is talking about managed pricing is now Shopify app pricing, and you can charge for usage, recurring subscriptions, or both. So this is now going to be something that's going to be very helpful for everybody who runs app devs. So be sure to check that out. There's a whole bunch of stuff in there that we obviously can't go through since we have so many things to cover. Otherwise, just a couple more. Karl, wake up. You'll need your pick here soon. Next piece is Polaris Web Components migration guides are now available for checkout and customer UI extensions. Pretty straightforward there. There's also just a heads up on checkout and accounts configuration API now is available for unified branding across checkout, customer accounts, and sign-in. So this is an effort to kind of they're moving towards this already with the web components architecture with extensibility and making them all like this unified kind of type piece here. So this new API is going to be replacing Checkout Profile API and Checkout Branding API, which are now considered deprecated. So be sure to pay attention to that if you are developing in that space. That will be helpful. And then last, but certainly not least, function run log details are now automatically visible. So if you have the proper scopes, you no longer have to ask the merchant to go hunting around for that ridiculous share logs button to get relevant information on your function log run. So I was pretty excited about that. Just even from, I think it's wild because even when we're running custom functions on storefronts and I have access, I still have to go in and find the logs for the function that I wrote custom for and deployed to this shop just to get the logs. And now you don't have to do all that. So huge changes, very helpful, a lot of quality life improvements all around. So thank you, Shopify, and thank you to those of you who stayed awake for this portion. So Karl, it's your turn.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm really excited about that function log one. That's going to be a big change.
Yeah, everyone should be excited for that. And the app pricing. I think that's Sandesh was even like pretty excited about that one I saw. So
if he's excited about it, I'm excited.
I've been waiting for that forever, and I kind of said forever in caps as I reposted it because I've been waiting for it for a very long time. Very excited. I think they're still yet to give us migration tools, so I'm waiting for that. Since we already have all the existing subscriptions and usage and all that. But yeah, when it happens, we're definitely gonna move over. I thought the app events was also very cool.
Yeah. That's it. Do you want to we'll have to drop a note in that. You want to say something about app events? There wasn't, I don't think there was a specific changelog entry for events, which is wild because that felt huge.
I think they rolled it up along with the app pricing, but yeah, you can now tell Shopify about specific app events that happened inside your app, like a customer purchased something or a pre-order happened or somebody signed up for a waitlist or anything to do with your app as such. So I think you can use those events to then have usage charges be based on that, is my understanding of how it works, but I could be wrong.
Yes, you are right. That was rolled out with I just read the highlights of oh, this is exciting. But yes, app events API was rolled into that update. So be sure to check that one out. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we could talk about changelog all day, but now it's time for the third half of the show. My favorite half of the show, our picks of the week. Did we tell you about this, Sandesh?
No.
Taylor.
we did not cover this. So Sandesh, you try to think of what you want to come up with here, but we at the very end picked something that we're both excited about. It can be more often than not with Karl snacks or technology or a product that you're excited about. Anything there. So Karl will lead the way here, probably with his next best snack pick.
Maybe
to be. Maybe he'll mix it up.
Doesn't have to be Shopify related, Sandesh. It can be anything. I will go first. Thank you, Taylor. I do have lots of snacks I've been enjoying, but I picked something else today. My daughter recently rediscovered chess. I taught them a couple years ago. I just kind of forgot about it and was excited. And I don't ever throw anything away. I try not to. And so I still have from 1996 this electronic chessboard computer thing that my parents bought me as a gift, apparently, when I was
nice.
1996, I was probably 3 years old, something like that. But still, yeah. Anyway, it is the Radio Shack 1680 chess computer. And I managed to get it working again because the batteries were all corroded and everything and this and that. And it's got a 40-page instruction book because I was still trying to figure out how to use it again. But it's working, and it's pretty cool because I looked into getting one of these new, and they're super expensive. So I'm really happy to have found one. But we'll put a link in the show notes. It's retro. The reason I picked it was because there's something about that era. Maybe it just has the blush of youth or whatever, but here's a device. It doesn't connect to the internet. All it needs is batteries. It's a computer, but it does what I want it to do. It's just so simple and self-contained and just nice not to think about all the bajillion things that go into most of the stuff we interact with these days. So it just plays chess if you can figure out how to work it.
If you can figure out how to work it. That's awesome. This looks great. The website's great too. I love this. This is awesome.
Yeah. I didn't make it, but thanks.
That yeah. I assumed, so that's awesome. Sandesh, did you think of something?
I don't know.
No, I'm struggling here. But I
Well,
have one thing. Maybe it's a complete opposite, but I got onto the hype train and I got myself like a Mac Mini to set up an agent on. So I did the thing. I paid Apple way more than I should have. And now I'm trying to figure out setting up Hermes on it. I've heard lots of good things. It's supposed to be better than OpenClaw. I just feel like I have a lot of things in life that I don't want to like update a sheet for. And I should just be able to tell an agent to go and update a note somewhere. And I'm waiting to tinker on it. I literally do it alongside my work. I switch to a VNC, like a Rust desk, where I can remote session into it and just like tell it to do things for now and set it up. And then I come back to my work and fix some selling plan bugs and then go back to it. That's kind of what my life is, but I'm very excited for that.
What was the name of the agent you're working with?
There's this tool called Hermes. It's HERMES. It's supposed to be the new OpenClaw or way better than OpenClaw. And I just hooked it up so I can talk to it through my phone and get it to do things for me. Yeah.
Next time you can have it pick a pick of the week for you.
Yeah.
if only he would have known. That's
yes. Very cool. Well, let us know how that goes. We'll be paying attention. You can burn the tokens. Let us know if it was worth it.
Yeah, we'll do.
That's awesome.
Taylor?
So my pick, and this is a little bit of self promo. So if just throw that out there or whatever. But I don't think I shared. Did y'all see the SDA.dev website that we did for like Toronto? So it's SDAToronto.dev.
Yeah.
So worked with Trudy to throw up a website for just stuff to do in Toronto. And so I'm taking suggestions or what have you. So this is from people, and I need to bug you for some suggestions too, Sandesh, as well, because we have like lists of like restaurants and all this other stuff. We've got other stuff that we're building out. So the idea is it's going to have all the .dev events. It's going to have restaurants, places that you can work like coffee shops and stuff that has Wi-Fi or whatever if you're in there during the week and you're working and stuff like that or whatever. So if you have not seen that before, check it out and let us know what we're missing still. But the idea is you can kind of build out your week and even share that. So we've got a couple other things that we want to do, but I was just excited and jazzed that I got to work with Trudy on a project. That was a lot of fun. And so if you are interested, if you're going to Toronto, if you're going to be there for .dev, be sure to check that out. So
first suggestion, medieval times, which you already talked about. You'd add that on there.
That's I've never been to one, so and it didn't make Trudy's restaurant list, believe it or not. So
it's more than a restaurant. That's why she just wasn't thinking. Add that, and then your Airbnb. You should put that in there too, so we know where to park.
I put my Airbnb on there. Let you know where I'm gonna be.
This is really cool. See, this makes me sad. This is why I don't do front end, because this is so much better than anything I would ever come up with.
No, this was just a lot of fun, like going back and forth with stuff with Trudy here for this. So this is her brain power. And I feel like ultimately, it's because, every time I'm going to be in Toronto, for Editions and .dev and stuff, I'm like, hey, where do I go for X, Y, and Z? Or she helps us plan all the things. And so now we have a whole website, so we don't have to bother Trudy. All of her knowledge and stuff is being distilled here. So SDAToronto.dev.
I thought Editions Week couldn't, or .dev now, couldn't get more packed than it was last year. And it seems like,
I know, it's crazy.
This year is looking like it's going to be crazy busy.
It's crazy. Karl, we're going to have to go up the whole week before. Sandesh, make some room. We'll bring an air mattress or something. We don't need much,
Hey, you guys are welcome here. I'm a little bit outside the city, but we got lots of nature and the suburbs, and we have two big dogs. So if you guys are into that.
Oh, what kind of dogs do you have? We're at the end of the podcast, people, so it's fine to ask about this stuff.
I have two Bernese Mountain Dogs. So one is a Bernese Mountain Dog, and the other one is...
I have a Bernese Mountain Dog.
Oh, awesome. How have we not talked about this? And the other one is a Bernese and Saint Bernard mix.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah. So they're both above 100 pounds each, so it's a lot of dog at home.
So we haven't probably talked about it yet because my puppy is only 10 months old. We've only had her for a little while yet. So she's only 90 pounds right now.
Only.
Are you looking for suitors? Is that what this is all about?
So that's awesome. So Karl, we can lead off here. Sandesh and I will talk about, well, everybody has to jump to meetings. And so we can sign off here yet still, because we haven't even done it yet.
Well, you've done it again. You wasted another perfectly good hour you could have spent coding or prompting AI, depending on your predilections, listening to the Liquid Weekly podcast. Thanks for joining us again, Sandesh. Happy birthday again, and we'll sing to you offline. Thanks for being here, Taylor. We'll see you guys in the next one. Happy hacking.